So my talk's gonna be a little bit different than everybody else's because I know nothing about medicine, know nothing about science, never been to the School of Public Health or any of the hospitals. Well, I had like a MRI once at one of the hospitals, but I didn't get to study it. So basically what I can share with you is a little bit about Harvard College, the undergraduate education, how the systems are a little bit different there. And then I want to talk a little bit about the community, the environment that Harvard College generates. Because I think it's something that I don't know if the people in the past have taken advantage of, but the people in the future might want to. So Harvard College is 4 years of undergraduate education. So in the United States, you can't go straight to medicine. You can't go straight to law. You have to get an undergraduate degree first. And so a lot of the colleges, including Harvard, are what they call liberal arts colleges, which means what? It means you're not going to really have a real special set of skills that you come away with. It's more about learning a lot about a bunch of different areas. So most liberal arts colleges, you have a major, which is the main thing you want to study. So business, biology, economics, history, whatever it is. A lot of people have what they call a minor as well. So you take probably half as many courses in something else. At Harvard, you have what they call general education. So it's basically, there are like 8 or 10 different areas, like 2 sciences, 1 math, 2 literatures, history, and you have to take 1 course in every single area. So you really get a broad understanding of, different subjects. So basically, what's the goal of this? It's to develop critical thinking skills. It's analytical thinking skills, and really they want you to come away with an open mind. So what's nice about this is that at the college, this kind of generates some sort of community. Like Amaka said before, 98% of the students live on campus. So every day you're making new friends, meeting people from different areas with different interests, from different countries with different backgrounds, rich, poor, middle class, everything. And really what happens is, for me at least, a lot of your learning happens outside of the classroom. It's informal, with conversations with people over lunch. People get into arguments. So you get to see different perspectives of how people think, the way that people view the world, which I thought was fascinating. And for me, the most important part of my education there was the friends I made that I'll have for the rest of my life, that are now living all around the world, that are doing all sorts of different things, from banking to PhD programs to public health, in all different parts of the world. So, having conversations with these people really makes you have a different worldview. And so this is one thing about the college that is a little bit different from the graduate schools. So like the School of Public Health, the medical school, the Kennedy School of Government, where it's all sort of specialized in people who have the same interests and lots of times think the same way. So I want to be pretty brief with it because I want to leave a lot of time for questions. But the college are mostly students from 18 to 23 years old. So they'll be around the same age as a lot of you. And I think it would be very beneficial for you guys to be able to integrate a little bit with some of these students, make friends with some of these students, because they can introduce you to a whole world of new things. And how would you go about doing this? Like a few people have already mentioned, You have to take advantage of the opportunities outside of the classroom, outside of the lab. There are millions of things you can do on campus. Extracurriculars, clubs, sports, like they had the little football team, groups, different courses. There's palestras. They have all sorts of things going on. So however you find a way to get involved in the community, and I'm more than willing to be a resource to help you with that. I'll have friends that will still be at the college who maybe on the weekends you want to get together and see what they do on the weekends. Maybe you're interested in a certain sport or a certain type of club, and I can guarantee you they have it there, whether it's, maybe it's music, maybe it's art, whatever it is. Even if you're just completely a beginner and you just want to try something new, there's definitely opportunities for you. So that's basically what I wanted to say, is try and, if you're able to get outside of your comfort zone. I know the School of Public Health and the medical school is in one area, and the Harvard College is in Cambridge at the main campus. There's a free bus, and I would definitely recommend trying to check it out if you have the time. And like I said, if you have any questions, I'd be more than willing to point you in whatever directions you'd be curious to go. So if anybody has any questions now, I'd be more than willing to answer them.
So do we have questions? I have a first question for you. It is about what you mentioned about taking the course and your major. So what percentage of your major is the course that you take? What I mean is like the percentage you major in bioengineering, how much do you have to take?
Right. So it depends on the major, but none of the majors are more than half of your courses. Usually they're about a third of your courses. So really you have at Harvard you have a lot of opportunity to explore different areas. I took a lot of different classes in languages. I took Portuguese, Spanish, French, but then I also did a lot of psychology. And then I did all the general education classes where I took Chinese, philosophy, a class called energy, all sorts of, a class on gladiators in the Roman games, a class just on gladiators. So the professor was the historical consultant for the movie Gladiator. So there's all sorts of different things, and these classes are usually available for you to audit if you want, if not enroll. I don't know how it works, but the professors, if you look through the course guide and you see something interesting, the professors would definitely be open to you going and, participating.
Do you have questions? So could you mention a little bit about the Harvard catalog? How do you search for your course? Because in how many courses do you have there?
Oh, wow. I don't know. Thousands. So I don't know how it happens with the access you guys have, but we had something called my.harvard.edu.
Yes, so we have one at the USP-8, right?
So are you able to search all the courses? So basically it's just going online and searching the courses at the college. And the extension school, I know, I don't know how to search for those classes, but I know you guys have more information on that.
So just for you to have we have a question for that.
Yeah, how does the schedule works? I mean, is it pretty flexible? What time are classes?
So the tough thing would be, I think, the labs are usually in the daytime, and that's the reason most of the people do extension school, is because most of those classes are at night, if I'm correct. There will be some classes that will meet at night, but most of them will meet during the day. So if you're doing labs, it might be difficult to make some of those classes during the day. But as far as clubs, there's more informal classes that'll be like seminars that will meet, maybe once a week at night. Those will definitely be more available.
So a great difference that we have here and there, one of the greatest differences is that we do not have green areas in our schedule. So it's something that you have a lot, right? You can program, choose course. Here in medical school, we have like a fixed schedule, most of it, and then we can pick in Jupiter, right? And there the course, but it's like the Harvard catalog we're going to show you is like crazy in terms of amount of course that you have, and in terms of flexibility to take a course at another school or things like that, right?
Oh yeah.
So this is really good. So you have Harvard School of Public Health, and you have also Harvard College, right? All the opportunities there.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the most challenging thing in terms of one of the questions that we have here is very difficult to get here at the University of São Paulo at medical school. How difficult was to get to Harvard? And we know that more Brazilians are there right now. So could you comment a little bit in how it worked for you?
So for me, it was kind of a particular case. I play football, so I was basically recruited by the coach. He said, "Hey, you want to come to Harvard?" I said, "Okay." I had never thought about it before. I knew I wanted to play soccer in college, and I was looking at some schools, and then some of the Ivy League schools started to recruit me. And it just happened to work out. I only applied to Harvard, so it worked out really well because of soccer. And a lot of times that's sort of how it ends up working with people, is there's some sort of connection or something that sets you apart from other people. But really, in general, the process there is much more holistic. Here it's the vestibular. That's really all that matters. Você faz os cursinhos and just, study very, very hard for that one test. There you have standardized tests like the SAT or the ACT, which are important, but places like Harvard, they really don't care because they turn down thousands of applicants every year who have perfect scores on their SATs, didn't miss one question, perfect scores, and were the top students in their high school. And Harvard says no, because they want people who have interesting stories or, can juggle or do interesting things. So they look at people as a whole. They want people who are smart, definitely, but they want to meet you. It's much more interview-based as well. So you'll go in, you'll have interviews with people around where you live, alumni from where you live, but then lots of times you go to the school too, and they interview you at the school. So they want to get to know you as a whole person, your interests, both academically, for leisure, and then social skills. It's a little bit of everything.
Do we have any other questions? Just the last question. So, what's your dream for the future? Coming back there, staying somewhere else?
I want to be here. I want to be living here through the World Cup. So I'll hopefully be here through the World Cup. I really don't know at this point. I really don't know. I really like it here, so for the time being, I'll be here in Brazil.
Soccer country.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.